So, Ryan, this week on Comics You Crave, tell everybody what we read.
We got it was a one shot, which means there's only one issue, and it's from IDW Comics. It's the X Files. It's called X Files Deviations. It's $4.99, so it's a pretty pricey one shot. Uh, I cannot find the first names on the people, even on the IDW website. So the people that work here are Chu Casangrande, Califano, and Florian. So I'm assuming in that order, Chu is the writer, Cassandra is probably the artist, and the other guys are
You gotta go to
doing.
the last page. It was written by Amy Chu.
Oh, it's on the last page.
Yeah, art by Elena
That shit on the last page.
Cassangre and Sylvia Calfano. Colors by Ariana Florian. And letters by Robbie Robbins.
Wow.
Last
Well,
page.
yeah. Thanks for putting that on the last page since everybody always puts it on the beginning.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Well.
But
You know what? That is fitting for this comic book. Can I just say that?
well, it's for being. It kind of sucks because it is a one shot. I mean, and
Anybody not familiar with the one shot, basically it's just a standalone issue that tells a self-contained story that you're not going to get any continuation on usually. So
yeah, it's this one's 40 pages, so it does have some length, but they also have a lot of like extra pages
yeah,
that.
well, 20 pages of it is like alternate art and promotions for buying more X-Files comics.
Yeah, so it's like half of the book is a
Well,
bunch of
well,
extras.
before we dive into too much into the comic, basically the synopsis of the comic is basically a what if story. It's called Deviations because it tells a story of what would happen if Fox Mulder was abducted by aliens and not his sister, and if his sister became the agent Mulder who joined the FBI. So it's a very interesting story, honestly.
Yeah,
It tells the story of basically the first episode of X Files on how Scully still ends up, hooking up with Mulder to form the X Files, and it tells their first case. So it kind of mirrors the first few episodes of the X Files, pretty right on, like scene for scene.
but I mean the artwork was really well done, and I was impressed with the artwork. And like you said, it mirrored that first episode pretty spot on. I mean, obviously they changed this stuff, for Fox is the one that gets taken, and his sister is the one that's left behind.
Well, and that's the problem with it. It's a great, honestly, the artwork's great. Like you said, the writing is really strong. It's a good comic until it's not. It just ends.
Yeah.
For a one shot, it is extremely disappointing.
Well, yeah, because it ends on a cliffhanger, like a huge, like, and you're like, okay, so.
Yeah, I would like some clarification from.
Right?
Honestly, I'd like to hear from IDW, and I want to know if this is actually a true one shot, if we're planning on getting some more. Because the sad part is as a one shot, I can't recommend anybody buy this comic. It's $5, and it tells a quarter of a story.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even complete any kind of storyline at all. I mean, it basically the first half of this comic book you spend going, okay, what's going to be different because it's exactly the same. And then when halfway through it does get different, you're like, oh, this is really good. And then it's just over.
Yeah, but it's over without a satisfying conclusion.
Or any conclusion. It doesn't conclude.
Yeah.
It just stops. And to me, that was very disappointing, especially when I first picked this up. I saw I think it was 40 or 44 pages or something. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a long comic. And 24 pages in, the story ends. And you're like, what?
Yeah. It'd be like if we went and saw Batman v Superman, and an hour through the movie, they just turned it off.
Yeah, hour and a half in,
there
it's
you
credits.
go.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. I would love to give this a much higher buy because it was I'm reading through it and I'm like, yeah, this is a really good comic. I could get into this. I kind of like this alternate universe, and then it's just over, and it angered me greatly. So
I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's well done on every aspect of it.
Well written. The artwork's amazing.
Great. The writing's strong. The story was fun. I mean, it had me grin in a couple of places, and
Yeah.
and but like you said, it stops, and then you're like, oh yeah, so it's a one shot. But I mean, at first I read 40 pages. I'm like, all right, so this is gonna be a nice long story. But like you said, there's like 20 pages of advertisements at the very end of it.
Yeah,
So
like buy our other X-Files, buy X-Files season 3 on
here's
IDW.
all our new Ghostbusters, and
Yeah, it was, in some ways it was almost like, hey, sorry your story ended. If you want to read more, here's a whole bunch of different things you can pick up instead. So, I
yeah,
mean, it was just disappointing, especially as an X-Files fan. It really hit on all the X-Files notes. It really felt like X-Files, and I just as I started to get into this alternate take on the X-Files, it just, like we said, it just ended. So, I don't know if there's much else we can say. It was extremely disappointing. It's one of the more disappointing comics I've read in a while because it was so good and then it just ended. So,
mm.
hopefully,
no foreseeable number two in sight. So
yeah. So hopefully IDW releases something. If they do, we'll revisit it and maybe give a different review. But as of right now, I think we're both pretty much in agreement. We'll keep this one sweet and to the point, but we're gonna have to say pass. It's not worth $5 to have a story, even a good, well-drawn story that's just not
yeah,
even remotely concluded.
yeah, and it would have been something that could have added a great value
Yeah.
to the X Files universe, but I mean it does in a small way, but as a one shot, it's not fulfilling enough.
No,
So
not even remotely. In fact, if anything, like I said, it'll make you angry because when they finally really start getting into it, that makes you go, "Oh, this is really exciting. What's going to happen?" It's over. And
and the twist that happens on the last page, you know,
yeah, I mean, it basically leaves it to your imagination, I guess. Which anyway, like you said, we were because the writing was so good and the artwork was so good. It was such a good comic. It made the end even that much more disappointing. So
yeah,
as you can tell, we're both kind of bummed about how it ended. So unfortunately for us, IDW's Ghostbusters, X Files, Deviant, one shot is a pass, man.
yeah, pass. Sorry.
Thumbs down. Sorry. But if you want to read something that'll disappoint you, but you really love the X Files, it is well written and it's well drawn, and you're gonna love it up to the last page.
Yeah,
So, all
sure.
right, that's about it.